At the beginning of this year, I set the resolution to paint a portrait every single week, and there was one condition: it had to be in 3 hours. This week's portrait was so challenging. I honestly want to throw it out the window at the end. I wasn't super pleased with it. On the days where you don't feel like painting, like this day, that is when you improve the most. Last week, I went to a painting workshop with one of my favourite painters ever, and she doesn't start by drawing. That is completely terrifying to me, and I'm not quite ready to completely abandon drawing at the start of my process. Instead, what she does is blocks in with one mass skin tone and later refines the features, so I try to do that a little bit this week. To make it easier for myself, since I'm covering up the drawing, is that I'm refining my nose structure, because this is going to be my anchor point, and then I can refer to it throughout the painting process so that I know where the general proportions are. Although this painter did start with just massing in one skin tone, I decided to differentiate the light and shadow in this portrait just to make it clearer for me. I'm not quite ready to completely abandon my current technique. I'm also massing in the structure of the hair with just one colour. Again, this is something this painter did, and I really like the look of it at the end. Skipping forward a little bit, I'm basically now just refining the features, adding a few more different tones into the skin. The idea generally with painting is that you start with larger masses and then get more and more defined as the process goes on and more paint is on the panel. I took a close-up shot at this point to show you how messy and ugly it looks at this point in the process. This is where you have to keep pushing. You have to keep going even though you hate it. When it's at its ugliest point, I like to take a break, reassess, and see where the problem areas are. In this case, I realised that the darks were not dark enough and I had to repaint that. Getting started on the lips now, I wanted to show you how soft, light and small my brush strokes are throughout the whole painting process. I'm continuing to refine, adding some different skin tones to the face. Around the nose and the cheek area, people often have a more pinky hue, so I added a bit of that. I was getting to the end of the 3 hours now and I was stressing because I really felt like it wasn't finished or where I wanted it to be. So I threw in the hair strands, just added some shadow shapes on the forehead to make it look like the hair was actually part of the head. I was getting so stressed and frustrated at this point. I mean, look at the state of my brush. And I've managed it. I've managed to get through the 3 hours. It was hellish. Some nice finishing brush strokes and we're done. I will see you all next week. Follow for more.